bring all the colours together, feel yourself being surrounded by an amazing technicolor rainbow of glorious healing light. You have created a healing energy within your whole body which will continue to heal your body long after this session has ended. Now visualize your chakras closing one at a time, from your base chakra to your crown chakra, and every chakra is now fully energized, healed and balanced. You will continue to feel energized and totally uplifted for a long time. You will feel much more confident in all aspects of your life. You will feel more creative and will accept and love yourself as you are. You find yourself being more and more compassionate towards others and loving towards yourself. The love you give out is multiplied and returns to you tenfold. You have developed an incredible energy and you have succeeded in raising your vibration to a higher level. You will also find it much easier to express your thoughts and feeling. You have amazingly strong self-belief. You are very intuitive and full of knowledge and wisdom. You will achieve great things now. You will be able to develop a greater understanding of life as you become more and more enlightened and aware as you continue to connect with this infinite power within yourself.
Since you're watching this video, I'll bet you want to meditate but don't have time. Maybe you've tried to meditate but had some trouble. Maybe you had a wonderful experience meditating over there, but just can't find that same feeling over here. Well, my name is Marty Borison, and in this video I'm going to introduce you to the technique of one-moment meditation. Then you can meditate whenever you need to. Like when you're feeling stressed, or feeling angry. Maybe you're having trouble sleeping, or you're feeling anxious, or you just need a new idea. Although one-moment meditation is ultimately about meditating in a moment, we're going to start with a minute. We start with a minute because a moment goes by so quickly that it's very hard to notice. But a minute is like a moment with handles on it. You know where it begins and where it ends, so it's easier to grasp. If you're ready, we'll do the basic minute now. You might want to shut the door, or at least tell people you're not available for the next minute. You don't have to tie yourself in knots for this. Just sit with your legs planted firmly on the floor. Try to sit up straight, but don't be rigid. It's as if your head were being lifted up away from the weight of the world. Think of it as cosmic traction. Now put your hands in any position that's balanced, symmetrical, and still. Like this, or like this. During the minute, simply focus on your breathing, moment by moment. Of course, even in the space of a minute, you will get distracted. That's perfectly normal. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. But as soon as you notice that you're distracted, just think, and bring your mind back to your breathing. I'll ring a bell so you know when to start and when to finish. Ready? Then close your eyes. Oh, one more thing. It's okay to smile. And go. As you open your eyes, notice how you feel right now. Maybe a little bit refreshed, a little bit more awake, a little bit more open-minded. Not bad for a minute. And the more you do it, the better it gets. But please don't ever do the basic minute for longer than a minute. Don't be macho about it. Because the point of the basic minute is to show you that you can make a meaningful change in your state of mind quickly. So if you do it for longer, you're cheating. With 1 moment meditation, you can also learn how to do the portable minute, which is very useful when you're standing in line, on a train, or stuck in a boring meeting. You can also learn the bonus minute, the surprise minute, and the emergency minute. With 1 moment meditation, you can also learn how to reduce the length of the basic minute step by step until it only takes a moment. And when you can meditate in a moment, your whole day can be filled with meditation, because it takes no time at all.
有效嘅腹式呼吸就點樣做呢？喺呢個位，你中意咩顏色㗎？係咪粉紅色啊？係啊，唔係你唔會着粉紅色嘅褲啦，係咪啊？係嘛？好，咁你諗一個粉紅色嘅 balloon 喺肚裏邊。愛因斯坦講，想像力比知識更加重要，所以係想像㗎。有啲人我講，我點樣整個 balloon 喺嗰度啊？咁啊比較痛苦啲嘅啦，咁我哋要教你做腹式呼吸咧，又有啲障礙㗎啦嚇。咁啊，總之想像一個粉紅色嘅 balloon 喺呢一度，當個鼻哥吸氣嘅時候，想像呢個 balloon 由 deflate 即係冧晒嘅氣球啊，慢慢吹脹佢。但係個吹脹唔係吹啲氣落去喎，係個鼻哥慢慢索啲氣，慢慢由個一路落到嚟呢一度。但係喺索氣嘅過程，個氣球就係由0到最大。OK， 跟住就呼翻啲氣出嚟。呼氣嘅時候咧，係用個口嚟呼。記得我哋係呼氣，我哋唔係吹氣。好多人係咁樣做腹式呼吸㗎。呢個唔係有效嘅寧靜呼吸法。我哋要放鬆咁樣。呼氣嘅時候咧，我哋講一個工具可以學嘅咧，講下嘅口型，下鼻哥索氣，balloon脹 ，OK， 口呼氣講嘅係嘛，俾啲氣呼出嚟 ，OK， 唔使咁樣，我哋意思係要放鬆。其實我哋放鬆嘅時候，我哋牙唔應該咬住嘅，有好多嘅人。平時或者瞓緊覺都中意咬住牙關嘅。我哋好多治療當中咧，你發覺咧，可能係你，可能係其他人咧，你見到我哋好多時最尾咧都係咁嘅。其實我咁樣用緊好多陰力咧，都打唔開佢嘅牙膠。我要喺度 hold 住幾分鐘，佢都唔肯打開啲牙膠，因為佢哋潛意識自己都唔知道嘅，咬住。大人細路都會嘅。呢個就係咩咧？如果我哋小朋友，其實你小朋友就未必教到佢做腹式呼吸，不過你可以觀察佢個呼吸 pattern。如果尤其是啲小朋友，如果佢係咬住，好多小朋友中意咁樣唞氣嘅，瞓覺嘅時候會咁樣合住嘅，甚至有啲會咬牙。哇 ！OK， 凡係有呢一啲，即係話佢呢個呼吸法唔夠 relax。咁一個簡單有效嘅方法，陣間我哋都會講嘅。不過呢度順便講埋啦，我哋可以用我哋嘅中指無名指。點解？唔好問住，我又想攞支筆。點解會跌啊？都係唔知點解㗎嚇，你唔好理佢住先。中指無名指掂住喺邊度？下唇中間呢度有個位，其實都係個穴位名嚟㗎。不過就即係唔好理佢。總之就下唇掂，我哋隻手咁大都唔會錯得去邊㗎啦嚇。輕輕掂住佢。如果佢係咪實個唇嘅，我哋輕輕幫佢打開。 唔好俾佢純尾實啫。如果你感覺到佢嘅牙關係咬住嘅，希望鬆少少佢個牙關。咁阿 Becky 係比較大力嘅，我而家咁嘅力咧就鬆唔到，所以大人咧就要教佢自己去開。細路仔咧嗰啲力咧，我哋就容易做，因為佢瞓住覺咧，其實你用緊一個力就係叫導引嘅力，順住個力，俾少少時間慢慢推，佢會打翻開個牙骹，輕微少少得㗎啦。OK， 大人咧就自己學用個口嚟呼氣，慢慢講下嘅口型，起碼咧牙與牙之間咧有一張紙嘅厚度。俾啲氣可以咁樣一片咁樣呼出嚟。如果做得好嘅腹式呼吸，呼呢個氣咧，呢個一張紙，起碼去到我哋自己即係尺幾兩尺，即係一隻手嘅距離，一片紙咁樣呼出嚟。咁三個字，當我哋呼氣嘅時候，記住三個字，條氣要細、慢、長。第三樣嘢咧，我哋講係自然手法調能量。咁原來咧，我哋可以透過我哋對手，原來已經可以做到好多唔同嘅治療嘅手段，包括頭先我哋講，其實指壓都係其中一種嘅手法嘅手段。咁譬如我哋講一啲脊椎骨嘅調整啊。咁但係我哋嘅手法，我哋叫做咩咧？觸按嘅手法。咁其實我哋有一個類似中醫講緊嗰個指壓嘅，譬如我哋講太陽穴。咁原來咧，我哋可以咧，因為有啲人怕痛。同埋唔敢用力咧，我哋可以做一啲叫透穴，咁樣一啲觸按嘅治療。咁我哋用乜嘢咧？我哋用中指無名指，咁好似我哋講做 facial 咁樣嘅手勢。譬如我哋太陽穴咧，我哋都有太陽穴嘅透穴。咁我哋嘅簡單用我哋嘅中指無名指掂住。咁但係我哋講個透穴嘅同指壓嘅分別係乜嘢咧？透穴我哋講就掂住佢，不過咧就加咗一個所謂念力嘅治療。咁就係我哋講自然醫學一啲所謂能量上面嘅醫學。咁其實中醫其實都有一啲類似氣功，其實都需要我哋講自己二手丹田啊。其實嗰個都係一個我哋講意念上邊嘅一個功能啦。其實喺個醫學上面其實係好多臨床嘅實證咧，其實係療效嘅。所以我哋講到用手指譬如做呢一啲透穴，咁我哋喺外國我哋啲老師咧，其實咧就去教幼稚園。教啲幼稚園嘅小朋友，爸爸媽媽有痛係點樣咧？就隻手自己掂埋去，譬如我爸爸頭痛咁啊，掂住佢頭痛嗰度。咁我哋咧就用咗中醫嗰個學名俾佢，掂佢嘅亞視穴。咁就唔使咁多嘅溝通，同埋佢哋有時咧就冇時間去講咁多。穴位喺邊度啊？穴位名嘅，尤其是佢哋外國人咧，要講啲穴位名咧，即係又翻譯翻中文啊，又用翻大腸經幾多號啊咁啊，嗰啲好混亂。咁佢哋就咩咧？邊度痛就掂邊度，邊個痛邊度痛就掂住佢邊度。咁我哋教啲小朋友咩咧？用一個意念咩咧？俾一啲佢哋自己中意嘅嘢。咁有時咧，譬如俾一啲雪糕落去，俾一啲即係花啊。甚至我哋啱啱試過有個病人乜嘢咧？啱啱起嘅傷風，鼻水流緊，咁佢又有自己有少少肥，咁佢係做一啲即係減肥嘅療程啦。咁我哋教佢媽媽係點樣做咧？指住佢嗰個肚臍，咁啊教佢媽媽咧，因為佢媽媽都有上下我哋少少嘅講座，教佢咩咧？教佢媽媽咧透過手指頭，俾呢個檸檬、士多啤梨。奇異果，用隻手咧，徒手咧，將個念力咧，將呢啲物質帶入去。咁呢個其實我哋講就係另外一個另類嘅透穴嘅療法，咁就俾咗一啲咁豐富維他命 C 嘅食物。咁原來幾分鐘咧，佢嘅鼻水就收乾咗啦。咁呢個都係我哋前幾日嘅一個病嘅例子嚟嘅。咁所以我哋講咧，喺手法上面，其實我哋透過嗰個能量醫學嘅一個咁樣嘅方式咧，其實原來可以做到一啲好實用嘅方法，包括自己幫自己，或者幫一啲我哋嘅屋企人，甚至我哋講咧幫動物都得嘅。咁我哋有啲即係自己有寵物啊，咁可以幫其他動物啊。我哋試過有啲係幫貓啊，啲皮膚病啊，幫狗仔啊，幫倉鼠啊，有啲我哋貪得意咧幫金魚啊，咁原來都產生到一啲臨床嘅療效嘅。咁而第四樣嘢我哋講咧，其實呢個絕對就係中醫嘅觀念嚟嘅，就係療和嗰個陰陽，去治理一啲嘅痛傷。其實簡單講個字就係平衡，一個 balance， 一個平衡陰陽嘅平衡。咁但係我哋嘅陰陽嘅平衡咧，就講緊咧個筋膜嗰個開合嘅 pattern。 咁有啲穴位咧，我哋講咧就唔係純粹有事先做嘅保健嘅穴位。有冇興趣學啊？有。最重要我哋講頭先，我哋講咪要靜竅啊。呢個佛家嚟講開竅啊嘛。我哋個竅位大家想唔想知道喺邊度啊？接近喺邊度咧？我哋講竅位咧，係唔緊要。竅位就喺呢個印堂位。唔該晒。OK。印堂就係兩眉之間，其實如果你睇，我今日冇帶佢頭骨嚟，佢頭骨呢度其實有個筍位嘅，喺個鼻梁同個牙骨有個筍位嘅。咁如果我哋自己幫自己做呢啲透穴嘅保健，尤其是你坐緊喺度嘅時候咧，就可以用中指無名指咧掂住呢度，左手又得，右手又得，輕輕咁樣掂住，咁啊做嗰個腹式呼吸，加埋個 grounding， 呢一個係好簡單嘅一個靜竅治理嘅一個保養嘅工程。咁你一般坐喺度都坐幾耐㗎？坐50分鐘啦，係嘛？咁啊好喎，我哋5分鐘已經得啦。咁如果你有時間唔使睇其他八卦雜誌，咁我哋講咧有幾個位你都可以去擺嘅。呢個係其中一個我哋講嗰個最主要嗰個竅位啦。另外一個位咧，我哋講咧同我哋嘅説話啊、溝通啊，咁我哋講經常都用嘅就係人中，但係人中咧就唔使擺晒兩隻手指，我哋咁樣擺嘅，中指擺喺人中。呢個咧擺，其實有個穴位叫地倉，不過我哋你唔好理個名啦。總之啫，喺呢個人中，一個就喺個唇下邊。即係我哋坐喺度嘅時候咧，你唔好翹腳啦，就做 grounding 做好你個 grounding， 咁可以喺呢度擺5分鐘，呢度又擺5分鐘。OK， 仲有一個位可以擺咧，就係膻中。膻中咧就係我哋講我哋嘅心輪，我哋嘅氣匯穴。凡係有所有關於氣唔暢通咧，你都可以，譬如有咩胃酸倒流啊、氣啊、心屋翳住啊、血嘅問題啊，其實呢個都有幫助嘅。咁啊，自己中指無名指坐喺度嘅時候咪擺喺度咯。OK。我試過講完講座之後咧，人搭地鐵都係咁樣做。我唔知啱啱聽人講咗，咁啱就同我一齊搭地鐵，我對住佢咧，佢係咁樣。我唔認得佢係咪啊？唔好意思問佢。咁但係呢啲都係我哋講係隨時隨地其實都可以做㗎。揸住地鐵冇位坐，都唔好過有唔好外眼嘅啫嘛。坐喺度更加可以做啦。另外一個位咧就係個肚臍。肚臍窿肚臍窿又係咁樣，咁又係坐車都做得㗎，你係坐喺度都做得㗎。OK， 呢啲位全部係容易自己做嘅。另外有一個因為得一個男士，咁佢可能佢應該冇呢個問題嘅，咁但係女士咧好多時都會有呢啲問題咯，淋巴嘅問題。乳腺增生都係一個好 common 嘅女士嘅中年嘅唔係中年嚟啦，越嚟越後生有㗎啦，有啲發育都已經有啦。咁有一個咧，嗰個咧就要需要啲即係大啲嘅動作先做到。喺我哋嘅腋窩嘅中心點有一個叫極泉嘅穴位。咁其實咧，我哋左右手都有嘅。其實我哋講其中一個極泉嘅透穴咧，就係呢度兜住個腋窩，呢隻手兜住個腋窩。咁樣，咁樣就我會教你一啲方法，你冇咁奇怪㗎。嗱，呢個咁嘅奇怪嘅姿勢咧，你哋坐凳嘅時候可以做，冇人理我哋啊。佢哋如果冇聽講座嗰啲，唔知你做乜就由佢啦。咁但係聽咗講座，佢哋都唔會理你㗎啦，咪擺5分鐘咯。咁但係你平時如果搭地鐵咁樣就真係好怪啲。咁但係你發覺有好多藝人訪問嘅時候，好多都係咁樣，多唔多啊？我最欣賞嘅藝人阿 Andy 咧，好多時訪問咧，阿劉華，有時訪問都係咁樣嘅喎。好多藝人中意係咁樣，我唔知佢係咪聽咗我哋啲講座啦。咁啊唔好嘥時間啊嘛，再做下啦，5分鐘就好啦。咁呢個係對我哋嘅淋巴，尤其是我哋嘅。男人都冇咁外眼啦，女人係有外眼嘅喎。係啊，女人點搞啊？屋企做，唔係屋企做，係家庭站做㗎嘛。
突然間喺1個月裏面高2個 cm 咯，咁就因為佢即係呢個係一個我哋 unexpected 嘅，即係嗰個高度係會高咗咯，仲會咁。呢個就係阿心月啊，你
你上嗰班上完咗之後，又再有幫下心源做過。頭先你咪啱啱有句 comment 嘅啲治療師，咁都喺個鏡頭裏邊又講多次啦。
係啊，咁我哋咪係咯，即係學咗之後咧，開始就即係捉住佢，盡量抽時間都同佢做啦。咁佢係即係佢自己都有做啲物理治療嗰啲嘅，咁嗰度啲姑娘就話佢進步得好快喎，攞飛躍
1-2個月。
係啊，即係總之係我哋學咗開始咯。咁就話佢攞飛躍進步大獎啦咁講笑，佢因為進步得好快。
睇你介紹下。
係因為我小朋友咧就有自閉症嘅，咁所以我就去多特斯嗰度咧做咗幾次治療之後咧，個仔就變到改善咗。咁
你講佢之前做咗3年半嘅針灸，
係啊，
就結果麻麻地嘅。
3年半嘅針灸就唔及3次嘅顱體骨治療。
咁所以而家就學埋諗住幫下小朋友。
係啦，即係睇下會唔會仲改善得好啲，因為日日做會始終都好過一週做一次咁樣。
我個小朋友佢就係有自閉症傾向嘅，咁跟住帶咗去揾咗阿 Uncle Bud 做咗治療啦。
幾大啊？
佢而家5歲10個月，但係佢做咗2次咧，已經我覺得個效應已經好明顯啦，即係已經開始講一啲説話係點啊有文有路啊。咁針灸就唔得啦，針灸佢直情係恐懼嘅，佢試咗去就針咗1針啫，咁癲唔係淨係癲啊，佢淨係發癲咯，嗰個程度係你會覺得就算俾你針到都得不償失。
我而家做咗睇下先個零月，咁其實都幾有進步咯。係朋友嘅護士啊嘛，護士啊嘛，係啦。上咗堂之後咧，只係上第1堂嘅，跟住我就好大膽地每一晚幫阿女做1個鐘頭嘅1個鐘頭，直至而家係冇停過。咁個功效係非常之大，同埋我而家直頭係完全喺做第1個 course 嘅時間之內咧，我已經係停咗精神科嘅藥物。
自此之後咧，我就好深信我隻手係有能力嘅，
呢個臨床進階顱脊治療班啱啱開班，最近有一個好好嘅見證經驗喎，可唔可以同大家分享下？
其實都幾神奇嘅。開始做去消炎嗰個手法。
咁嘅手 OK。
咁其實係做咗成晚咁樣。最高燒到39度幾嘅，39度9嘅。
幾用啊？你都
冇食過藥啊，跟住淨係飲水，跟住然之後咧就天光佢醒咗退晒燒，完全冇晒事。佢瞓醒就不知幾精神。
但係如果第一次就一個咁顯著，因為我照顧咗佢都差唔多年紀啦，即係出邊開始，即係其實睇住佢，就算點樣進步，點做就做都未有嗰個去廁所嗰個暢順，係睇到1次嘅治療就有呢個效果，我係好想再繼續落去，跟住再睇，其實係想再睇下可以有啲咩繼續幫到佢手咯。
咁亦都有睇過其他可能有物理治療背景嘅顱體治療師，跟住有啲係自然療法中心裏面嘅顱體治療師，跟住我揾到施博士，佢有好多片段介紹，即係感覺到施博士係好有心去推廣呢一個治療方法啦。嗰啲片段度係見到好用心嘅，咁我覺得可以信賴咯。
今次嚟嘅原因咧，就係因為我有子宮肌瘤、子宮水瘤，咁都幾大，咁醫生都係建議話開刀。咁施博士幫我做咧，我係覺得我有經絡嘅，我感覺到啲經絡啊，啲中醫經絡嘅位置啊嘅線路咯。咁我覺得好特別，因為針灸先，我真係做針灸先至感覺得到噶嘛，我覺得好神奇啦。咁呢個係我覺得施博士嘅顱脊治療係好即係特別。
試下啦，咁你試下學下有冇用啦。咁我上咗一個堂，咁多得啲第1堂就教咗個 CV4 啦嚇，咁我翻去本試一試啦嚇，咁都有啲神奇效果嘅。我個女可以15分鐘之內放喺我隻手度可以瞓得着嘅。
即係本來要2個鐘嘅。
係啦，本來起碼
簡單講，如果佢身體釋放完咗，當你繼續 即係維持住嗰個嘅手法，佢身體只係唔 take up 啫嘛。如果你奉行頭先我講嘅做法，我唔係用我嘅力，我係佢嘅頭枕落嚟，我係唔會俾過多嘅。
讓愛心力漫着光輝照。
阿 May 姐咧翻加拿大之前咧，最後一堂同我哋一齊上堂。我哋今日上緊嘅咧係呢一個筋膜嘅導放，我哋簡稱叫導膜。咁我哋咧1、2、3、4、5、6、7個同學咧一齊咧同心咧俾一個祝福阿賢，希望佢嘅濕疹咧透過耶穌嘅醫治咧，透過呢個活水啊湧流咧澆灌咧佢每一個細胞，讓佢咧舊有嘅細胞咧都能夠咧重新咧可以咧恢復過嚟嘅，恢復到咧原先咧神咧始所設定嘅模樣。我哋今天咧，我哋以前風聞有你，我哋今天咧要親眼看見，我哋要睇到你嘅榮耀喺阿賢嘅身體上邊咧彰顯咧呢一個力量。主，我哋感謝你，我哋同心咧用主禱文咧祝福。我哋為阿賢咧呢一個咧身體咧代禱，希望咧佢早日康復咧，成為咧神咧主咧你嘅見證人。主，我哋感謝你，我哋同心禱告，我們在天上的父，願人都尊你的名為聖，願你的國降臨，願你的旨意行在地上，如同行在天上。我們日用的飲食，今日賜給我們，免我們的債，如同我們免了人的債。不叫我們遇見試探，救我們脫離兇惡，因為國度、權柄、榮耀，全是你的，直到永遠。阿門。我哋重複多一次，大家一齊都用主禱文咧祝福阿賢。若有人在基督裏，就是新造嘅人，就讓阿賢咧今天咧有一個新嘅身體、新嘅生命、新嘅皮膚、新嘅皮袋。主，我哋多謝你。我們在天上的父，願人都尊你的名為聖，願你的國降臨，願你的旨意行在地上，如同行在天上。我們日用的飲食，今日賜給我們，免我們的債，如同我們免了人的債，不叫我們遇見試探，救我們脫離兇惡，因為國度、權柄、榮耀，全是你的，直到永遠。主，我哋感謝你，感謝你咧，招聚我哋咧，今天咧有機會一同學習，一同咧聆聽你嘅聲音，一同咧學習你嘅話語，讓你嘅話語咧成為咧我哋路上嘅光，讓我哋腳前嘅燈。主，我哋感謝你，感謝你咧醫治我哋，唔單止醫治咧瞓喺床上面嘅阿賢，亦醫治咧我哋今日咧每一位同學，因為咧我哋知道咧施比受更為有福，就係我哋咧改變我哋嘅觀念改變健康，徒手作人自在。主，我哋感謝你，感謝你咧喺我哋呢個聖殿裏邊咧彰顯你嘅榮耀，讓我哋睇見。主，將無限嘅感恩都獻上俾你。主，感謝你，孩子嘅禱告奉靠我主耶穌基督得勝名字祈求，阿門。感謝主。除咗阿 Alice 之外咧，其他可以慢慢鬆手，阿 Alice 慢慢放翻佢。大家有冇睇過呢個 video 啊？
成個治療夢境治療過程咧係花咗140幾日嘅，144日。咁好似成個都做晒啦，好似我已經冇嘢可以做啦。咁其實嗰個時候我都知道，其實自己已經係一路做嘅時候，嗰個係康復緊嘅。我都揀客嘅，即係點解咧？因為我覺得最重要做治療嗰個概念咧，並唔係我去醫一個人，或者去即係真係幫佢做一啲改變咯。最重要其實係嚟求助嗰個人，佢自己要學識點樣去幫自己。最終真係治療嗰個咧，係佢自己治療自己咯。咁如果好想，喂，我錢唔緊要嘅，你總之幫我搞掂個問題啦。咁其實我會同佢我搞唔掂，因為呢個問題係你嘅，呢個人生都係你嘅，所有嘅問題一定係由你自己去解決嘅，並唔係我去幫你解決嘅。如果做嗰啲治療對我嚟講冇咩意思咯，所以我寧願將時間花喺真係一啲想自己變為一個自己醫生做自我療癒嘅人身上咯，或者花喺寫作身上咯。以前呢，大家點去衡量生命嘅價值啦，或者一個人嘅成就就係可能你 有揾到幾多錢啦，可能你社會嘅地位有幾高啦，即係可能係用金錢啦、權力啦、名譽啦去衡量。其實意外之後，我覺得即係人生最大嘅成就就係你學識得用心生活，享受生命，就係人生最大嘅成就。因為當你真係面對死亡嗰刻，你知道乜嘢都係帶唔走，無論係錢、名譽、地位、權力，乜嘢都帶唔走。但係如果你每一下喺你在生嘅時候，你都係享受個生命嘅，你都係好用心去體會呢個世界嘅，呢啲全部都係你帶走嘅嘢咯。
我現踏着前路去，追趕理想旅途上，前行步步懷自信，風吹雨打不退讓。無論我去到哪方，心裏夢想不變樣。是生生是醒覺，夢想永遠在世上。前路哪怕遠，只我繼續獨自尋路向，常為意和夢想發狂，內心摸索路途上，懷自信我永不怕夜航，到困倦我自彈自唱，掌聲我向夢想裏尋，儘管一切是狂想，途人常常回望我，只因我的怪模樣，途人誰能明白我？今天眼睛多雪亮，人是各有各理想，奔向目標不退讓，用歌聲，用歡笑，來各自音的讚賞。噠噠噠噠噠噠噠噠噠。懷自信，我永不怕夜航，到困倦我自彈自唱，掌聲我向夢想裏尋，儘管一切是狂想，我仍踏着前路去，追趕理想旅途上，前行步步懷自信，依照心中那正確方向，懷着愛與樹的心，奔向目標不退讓，用歌聲，用歡笑，來各自音的讚賞。莫再悲，莫再傷，遇到悲哀又誇張，誰亦要經風雨浪，誰於挫敗不受傷，逝去的莫再想，路正崎嶇更漫長，何用嘆息風裏望，寶貴光陰笑着亮，愁和哀風雨傷，不會天天都探訪，用幻想與夢想，編織那遠大理想，斜陽好花正香，跟那靜默和着唱，歌聲一句句跳躍屏障赴遠方，默默的分享，默默的欣賞，路上一切美麗況，人生總會碰着悲哀苦惱，為何流淚看？幸運不稀罕，熱淚不輕淌，現做真正嘅硬漢，何必口説快樂，心中一個樣。斜陽好花正香，跟那寂寞和着唱，歌聲一句句跳躍屏障赴遠方，默默的分享，默默的欣賞，路上一切美麗況，人生總會碰着悲哀苦惱，為何流淚看？幸運不稀罕，熱淚不輕淌，要做真正嘅硬漢，何必口説快樂，心中一個樣。用歌聲，用歡笑，來博知音的讚賞。
About 40 years ago, I had a really bad motorbike accident and spent several months in hospital, and was told by the end of the treatment that I probably wouldn't walk again. And as a young man, that's something you really don't want to hear. And I had physio from the hospital, and they got me walking on crutches. And at the end of that treatment, the guy who was fantastic, he was a blind physio. He said, "I don't know what I can do for you. I think that's it." So I was pretty devastated by that. I'd been a farmer and a gardener, and I realised that was probably over, because you can't do that with crutches, really. Or I didn't feel that I could do it with crutches. And then I was recommended to go and see a cranial osteopath at the time. And I went to see this guy, and I went in. I was very sceptical. I didn't know what they were going to do. And I laid down on the couch. One of them held my head, and the other one put their hand underneath my back. And they sat there and did nothing for about 20 minutes. And I thought, this is nuts. And I asked them what they were doing, and they said, well, we're just listening to the alignment of your body and the health that's within it. But at the end of the session, I felt really good. I still needed the crutches. It wasn't like a miracle thing where you throw the crutches away and off you walk. But I felt something different, maybe more relaxed. I'm kind of happier in some way that I can't really explain. So I went back twice a week, and in 3 months I was walking. And that, when that happens to you, like your life is transformed by that, in a major way. And then I began to wonder what I was going to do with my life, like the farming and the gardening career I've got. And I pondered it, and I thought, actually, I'd really like to do what they're doing.
Well, now, this is a word that you managed to learn this morning by repeating over and over again like a little mantra in makeup. What is it again?
Biodynamic craniosacral therapy.
What exactly is biodynamic craniosacral therapy?
And if there is a shorter name to it?
Cranial work is a good way of
cranial work, okay.
So, cranial describes the bones in the skull.
Right.
The initial insight in the work was the whole body expands and contracts, and particularly the bones in the head express this movement of opening and closing.
Oh.
So the skill in the work is to feel those rhythms. It's not just the bones in the skull. All the bones move, all the cells, all the organs expand and contract. Mm-hmm. And the skill of the therapist is to listen to those rhythms and allow them to move in an easier, more balanced, more harmonic way.
So the body intelligence training offers 2 months between them, so the idea of that is to absorb information and have some powerful experiences in each seminar, and then go away and integrate it and really make sense of all that in terms of making contact with practice clients, reading material, a little bit of home study, and the course isn't really academic as such, it's more experiential. The focus of the training is on health. It's about coming into relationship with your own health, and that's an extremely powerful thing in a society that's not oriented to health.
For me, health is something much, much richer, much more nuanced, much more powerful, really. To define my body as just something that isn't in pain really limits who we are as human beings. So for me, there's an incredible range of sensations, an incredible range of phenomena that happen when we're healthy and that we can notice when we're healthy. A sense of being in touch with, engaged with, being grounded in our body. The work is not about forcing things. The work is about making a very, very gentle contact. So the contact in cranial work is a feather-like touch. And we're just listening to this gently pulsing body.
How can we touch someone and be able to differentiate their bodies? So that is using a sensory-based touch. There is no palpation or motion testing in this touch. It is a sensory touch that is highly finessed and is able to differentiate all the different anatomies and structures and motions, both physiological and subtle craniosacral motions that are expressing in the body. So how do we get there?
When we reset the thermostat, when we reset the reflexes and enable people to begin to engage with their body, it's a transformative process. And it's very exciting to watch because it's such a simple idea, and not many other therapists, in my experience, seem to understand that or seem to work with it as powerfully as craniosacral therapy does. We're much more about simple, practical things that work very, very well. We acknowledge the theory, but we keep that very simple and try to draw out the essence of what's important. We give lots of practical examples and lots of exercises for people to do. Exercises to do to treat people and exercises to explore these phenomena I've talked about, these subtle rhythms going on in the body, to explore them in ourselves.
I'm blown away every day with each one of the exercises that we do, from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, how different I feel inside my body. The body awareness exercises were verbal exercises on the internet where I could listen to different things that would get me in touch with different parts of my body. So they could range anywhere from feeling into your cranial cavity or feeling into your thoracic or pelvic cavity, your extremities, the space around you. It takes your touch and your level of awareness not only to a deeper level in the body, but more spacious, which is quite new for me.
The training itself has lots of contact sessions within it. These are designed to not only be a vehicle for learning the touch, but also for receiving lots of hands-on sessions so that your system goes through a powerful transformation.
Really good about it is that the client is going away with a deeper understanding of how their body works, and people come in and really quite quickly get the picture that it's their body making all the changes, and that you have to connect to their own body to feel what's changing. The body knows where it needs to access its health if it needs it. It knows what the priorities are. And the biodynamic approach is really about the body finding where they need to work first so they can solve the area where they're so fixated on. And that's really beautiful.
The biodynamic approach has become progressively about the practitioner's clarity of perception. And in order to achieve that, there's a powerful self-development needs to occur in terms of physical embodiment and a resolution of traumatization within the physiology.
I had heard of biodynamic craniosacral therapy for a long time, and I'd taken some training, but it was more the biomechanical training about 12 years ago. And I felt like I had gotten some techniques, but I didn't really have the skills to see the shifts happening on the table until I started doing this training. It's nice to be able to move into the state of non-doing rather than actively trying to impose what we are taught to be some sort of significant protocol for the body, which really is kind of shocking because everyone's so individual that the healing process is not a formula.
During the training, we look at many different avenues into felt sense awareness, including movement, introspection, meditation approaches. Often we'll do Qigong forms that are tailored to the craniosacral perspective as a way to understand and feel into your system and to appreciate the nuances of this remarkable therapy.
This course gives nice, clear, simple, illustrated ways of expressing that sense that we're getting in our hands.
What sort of benefits can you get from this sort of therapy? What does it actually do for people? Can it actually, sort of heal and can?
I do cranial work because I get fantastic clinical results. I spent 5 years training as a chiropractor, 3 years as a shiatsu practitioner. I worked around people for a long time. For me, I get incredible clinical results from a whole range of things, from acute and chronic pain, so if people hurt their back or people have long-running sports injury, to people who can't sleep or people who have energy problems. I've also worked with people who've got very, very serious diseases, so helping them cope with medication, helping them cope with coming to terms with their diagnosis. It's also fantastic for stress, for people who have difficult emotional stress, so being depressed or being anxious. Cranial work, I think, is probably one of the best therapies out there for something like panic attacks, things like that. Another thing it's very good for is because it's so gentle and respectful, it works with babies. So a lot of the work in Europe and in America, it gets well known for is it's working for babies.
Right. So it's psychological and physiological at the same time.
One way of describing it is sort of silent psychotherapy, really. So we listen to the body tells our stories, and our mind and emotions catch up with what's happening in the body.
I think there's something in this that could really stabilise people's systems, create tremendous balance, and just give them a relationship to tremendous internal resources, which everyone has.
呢度有冇朋友今次係第一次出席我哋所舉辦嘅一啲嘅課程簡介會嘅？有嘅舉舉手。OK， 好，謝謝大家。OK， 歡迎大家先。OK， 俾啲掌聲先嚇。好。因為即係一行親呢度就比較殘眼啲。咁其實一樣嘢就乜？即係今日呢個講座裏邊咧，最主要有一樣嘢俾大家了解到一套嘅手法，而呢套手法一樣嘢就乜？即係佢嘅統稱叫勞脊手法啦嚇。OK， 咁究竟一樣嘢就乜？即係佢所做到嘅效能係啲咩咧？咁我想請問下先，在座有冇啲朋友咧 ？OK， 覺得依家係都市上就喺都市裏邊啦。OK， 即係人大部分嘅有工作冇工作讀緊書，都會感覺到有壓力㗎。有冇啊？有冇啊 ？OK， 大唔大啊？大唔大啊 ？OK， 都應該幾大啦，係咪？即係特別喺曾蔭權年代有壓力啦，再上翻去以前一樣嘅就係乜？董建華先生有壓力啦，咁依家因為梁振英上台更加有壓力啦。OK， 咁今日啱啱爆咗單嘢就點樣啊？又要辭職啦嚇。OK， 咁種種壓力啦。咁究竟一樣嘅就乜？即係點樣可以處理到咧 ？OK， 咁呢度手法究竟嗰個功能去到點咧？咁亦都一樣嘅，今日好榮幸啦，邀請到我哋呢個即係嘅課程嘅導師啦 ，OK 施老師啦嚇 ，OK， 咁就去同大家一樣嘢講解下，事實上 OK 勞脊係啲咩嚟咧？呢樣嘢同我哋本身身體嘅健康有啲咩關係嘅咧 ？OK， 咁點樣可以一樣嘢透過呢個嘅課程去學習咗嘅話，又可以助人助己咧 ？OK， 咁我唔阻大家時間 ，OK， 將以下落嚟嘅話，呢個時間交俾我哋今日嘅主講者。係咪？我陣間會整嘅，你放心。OK， 交俾施老師好唔好啊 ？OK，
唔該晒。點解我指佢咧？因為 我首先介紹下我自己先啦。我一般咧叫我 Doctor C， 咁因為我哋做好多啲小朋友嘅個案嘅，咁佢哋咧就叫我做 Uncle Buck， 咁所以咧就即係我哋咧就有隻歌咧就係咁樣唱嘅 Uncle Buck and Donald Duck，Uncle Buck my good friend，Uncle Buck is a fat old man，sawdust car 咁你小朋友咧就千祈唔可以叫錯嘅，我 Uncle Duck 嘅，咁所以咧陣間你有我慢慢咧希望幫大家 warm up 啊，因為我哋陣間講嘅資料咧就會好快好多。咁咧如果我講得太快，你哋聽唔切咧，你舉手得㗎啦。咁你叫我 Uncle Buck 又得，叫我 Doctor C 又得，咁但係千祈唔好叫我 Uncle Duck，得唔得？咁啊，我哋首先咧就介紹下有個少少嘅短片啊，介紹一下即係我哋過往做緊呢一個顱脊嘅一啲嘅少少嘅介紹。
今日我好榮幸啦，請到我一位好資深嘅施文浩顱脊徒手顱脊治療醫師嚟同我哋講解佢嘅心得喎。咁啊，介紹下我身邊呢位 Doctor C 先。咁我哋通常都中意叫佢做 Doctor C 嘅。咁咧佢自己咧原先咧就喺理工大學讀物理治療㗎。咁啊，然之後咧再喺港大度咧就讀臨床針灸喎，跟住再讀埋自然療法。所以佢呢一套我哋今日講嘅徒手嘅顱脊治療嘅手法咧，係佢綜合咗3樣嘢嘅心得嚟喎。所以大家家庭觀眾咧就記住留心啲聽啦。咁我時間交俾 Doctor C 啦。不過但係大家都唔係好明喎，咩叫顱脊治療咧？實質係醫邊度同醫啲乜嘢嘅咧？
我哋首先知道幾個重要嘅資訊先。第一就係顱骨，其實就係骷髏頭個顱，我哋所謂頭顱骨，脊就脊骨啦。顱脊嘅意思其實咧，我哋有樣嘢要留意咧，就係所謂呢啲腦筍。我哋成日細個講咧，腦筍未生埋咧，其實我哋知道而家嘅醫學知道咧，原來我哋嘅腦筍骨到我哋入土為安，其實都未生埋過嘅。原來呢啲腦筍骨、呢啲腦縫嘅活動咧，原來可以開合咁樣活動嘅。咁我哋面頭冚住嘅咧就係一啲叫筋膜，咁啲筋膜其實覆蓋咗全個身體，包括頭顱骨啦、腦裏邊嘅腦膜啦，包括我哋脊椎神經根嘅脊膜啦，我哋臟腑肌肉，我哋全身其實98%嘅組織臟腑其實都係俾呢啲筋膜一幅過咁樣覆蓋住嘅。而呢啲筋膜咧將會同呢啲腦筍骨嘅活動係有個叫 synchronize 協調同步嘅一個咁嘅 pattern 嘅活動嘅。咁其實我哋就係感應呢一啲筋膜嘅活動，去幫佢調適翻嗰個順暢度，從而幫佢改善翻身體健康。咁我哋有個經常講嘅答案咧，就係我哋唔係針對特別任何嘅一種病，我哋乜嘢病都醫唔到，但係我哋對任何關於健康身體嘅問題咧都有幫助。
咁喺你嘅經驗當中咧，做呢類即係顱脊治療，最快見到效果會係即係佢有咩感覺咧？或者做完之後會幫到啲乜嘢咧？
頭先我講，因為我哋唔係針對個別嘅身體嘅問題，咁我哋一般都係偏向講叫處理一啲叫慢性或者叫做亞健康嘅問題。咁我哋純粹睇嗰個治療嘅過程咧，就唔係睇嗰個治療嘅健康嘅目的，係睇佢治療時間嘅反應。因為我哋都有一啲針灸嘅理論原則咧擺咗落去。我哋做針灸其實就係透過支針喺我哋穴位上面做一啲嘅調針，產生一個叫得氣嘅反應。能夠得到氣咧，嗰個穴位嘅功能咧就可以改善㗎啦。
就暢通啦。
冇錯啦。咁我哋其實做緊個治療過程，頭先我哋講啦，都係感應緊個筋膜嘅活動。我哋集中睇住嘅咧就係睇佢嗰個叫做一個叫釋放嘅反應。咁我哋有個學術嘅名稱咧叫做excuse me 治癒本能嘅一個釋放反應。咁有兩種釋放反應比較臨床上面比較特別見效嘅咧，第一個叫脈浪圖，即係話我哋掂住佢嘅一啲身體嘅部分，佢慢慢產生一個脈搏跳動嘅反應。咁呢個係一個良性，我哋講即係血液循環嘅反應。第二個咧，我哋叫做一個叫做醉夢嘅反應，英文我哋叫做 holistic 嘅 relaxation。咁佢呢個人嘅狀態咧就好似係半夢半醒，咁我哋叫做醉夢。咁有啲少少似呢個催眠嘅狀態嘅。咁喺個過程咧，佢自己就會有個醒悟，有個得着，關於佢身體健康嘅問題。
My name is Dr. Augustine, and I'd like to introduce you to the biocranial system of healthcare. Why biocranial, you might ask? Because the brain controls everything within the body, and biocranial has the most powerful impact on the brain and therefore the body. Biocranial is the first technology to dramatically release health from its source. The true principles of healing are as follows. The body is self-healing. The brain controls everything, therefore interference to the brain and the body will have problems. Is your skull crooked? In biocranial, we look at skull posture. Here are some examples of real skulls. The shapes of these skulls are changed because skull bones actually moved. Let's look at the skull posture of a few guys. See any distortions? Look at their ears. Level or not? Look at the position of your own eyes or ears. Is one eye larger and more open than the other? How about ear position, higher or lower? More flared than the other? Biocranial expands all 22 skull bones, which improves brain function. When this happens, the entire body functions better. There's a reason that we have 22 individual skull bones, because they are meant to move. Here's a look at the skull, emphasizing the sphenoid in red and the occiput in blue. This is a look at the skull from above down into it, visualizing the sphenobasilar joint. This is a look at the skull from the left side, showing the sphenoid in red and the occiput in blue. The sphenobasilar joint is between both of them. A biocranial correction causes the sphenobasilar joint to shift vertically, causing global expansion of all 22 skull bones, which improves brain function and full body function. You can observe the normal cranial expansion. By improving cranial expansion, we improve cranial sacral motion, which is essential to wellness. So in biocranial, we like to say that the key to wellness is in your head. If your brain works better, then you work better.
頭顱骨原來有22塊嘅，有冇聽過腦筍未生埋啊？我想問下大家腦筍生埋咗未？生埋咗未？你睇完嗰本書，你生埋咗未？生埋啦，冇生實啫。哇！呢啲咪叫做5.5咁咯，嚇！佢通咗嚟㗎啦，我頭先幫佢入咗定啦，出嚟我握手我就徒手能5.5咁㗎啦。我哋嘅腦筍係會生埋㗎，不過未生實。原來呢22塊嘅骨頭，呢一啲所謂睇唔睇到呢啲狗牙嘅鋸齒啊？呢個我哋嘅額骨，呢兩個我哋嘅頂骨。骨與骨之間其實有鋸齒，有呢啲咁樣嘅狗牙嘅鋸齒。原來到我哋入土為安，呢啲骨嘅呢啲骨塊，頭顱骨嘅板塊，原來包括而家大家原來係喐緊㗎。但係唔知點解啲資訊唔話俾我哋聽喎？咁喐緊有咩咁特別啊？先天做呢一個做乜嘢啊？接收流量。Yes， 我哋就叫做咗一個 buffer， 做一個緩衝。點解要做呢個緩衝啊？如果呢啲板塊唔喐得，有冇聽過一個叫顱內壓啊？亞眾學咪受傷嘅。就算做完手術，我哋都要去好平衡住、maintain住佢嗰個顱內壓嘅平衡係咪啊？顱內壓過高會點啊？傷害腦細胞，壓住我哋個腦咯。其實我哋嘅頭呢個就好似一個打邊爐嘅壓力煲，裏邊就係我哋煲嘅湯料。 浸住嘅湯底其實就叫做腦脊液。如果我哋呢個緩衝區冇辦法做到一個暢順嘅開合嘅活動，我哋呢個腦就會俾啲腦脊液俾呢個湯底壓住，腦細胞受壓就會點啊？影響佢功能，唔好講死，影響佢功能就會有林林總總嘅亞健康，睇佢壓得幾耐，壓得幾長時間，壓得幾大。所以我哋需要一個咁樣健康嘅緩衝區，但係我哋會唔會有啲咩元素會影響咗我哋呢一啲腦縫嘅緩衝區啊？我想問下細個有冇人跌過㗎呢度？如果你話冇跌過咧，就真係得人驚啦。人都會跌過㗎係嘛？跌過如果冚到喺我哋腦筍未生埋之前，送一啲資訊俾大家。頭頂呢一個頭先我哋講呢個腦筍位，幾多歲應該生埋㗎？10歲8歲唔得了㗎啦，好危險㗎啦！我哋講腦筍未生埋呢度咧，成粒瑞士糖咁大嘅位㗎，可以摸到個腦㗎，個腦可以咁樣撲下上嚟㗎。2歲之前正常應該生埋晒㗎啦，2歲以後見到已經危險，因為2歲佢已經識行識走㗎啦嘛。我哋細個瞓嗰啲碌架床係咪啊？咁就頂唔係頂到個頭喎，頂到個腦喎。咁就好容易乜嘢啊？腦膜炎㗎咯喎，會創傷㗎咯喎，所以我哋嘅先天係會生埋佢。後尾枕呢一度嗰個枕骨幾多歲生埋啊？3歲到6歲。呢一度有一個我哋叫做，有冇聽過有一個叫做我哋講嘅竅啊？中醫係咪講開？唔係佛家講開竅啊？或者我哋講五臟六腑都開竅於五官㗎？有冇聽過呢啲咁嘅術語啊？竅，咁我哋講呢一個就係我哋講嘅人嘅靈竅。我想問下大家，大家相唔相信我哋其實有心靈㗎？我哋有冇靈魂㗎？我哋嘅靈魂有冇重量㗎？哇！後邊嗰班即係可能係啲靈人嚟㗎喎，打得咁大聲，有幾重啊靈魂？嚇？有啲資訊我唔知佢點樣稱啦嚇，有啲資訊即係話大部分都係咁樣相信嘅，大概有26個 gram。嚇？咁但係我哋嘅靈魂住咗喺邊度啊？靈魂嘅居所原來就住喺個竅裏邊。呢一個骨縫位你見到其實係下邊呢一個係個鼻梁嗰個鼻梁骨，上面呢個額骨裏邊兩個夾咗兩粒色仔咧叫做肋骨。咁其實呢一度咧，其實成個腦筍位嘅中間咧，其實有一個叫做蝶骨，好似隻蝴蝶。頭先早嚟嘅朋友就睇到我哋播一段短片啊，就係我哋講即係3D 咗嗰個頭顱骨裏邊嗰個狀態俾大家睇。咁嗰個其實就係好似扭計式中間一嚿骨，隻蝴蝶咁樣，咁係中間嗰嚿嚟嘅。原來我哋嘅頭骨不斷都係咁樣喐緊，原因就係要做呢一個緩衝。另外一個原因就係做一個泵，去泵住呢啲腦脊液嘅流動。如果唔係就好似一個死池死水，不斷都邋遢。另外一個原因，我哋要做呢一啲嘅治療，其實就係要去第一個就係平衡個腦內壓，第二就係要淨化呢啲腦脊液。腦脊液其實簡單講就即係腦嘅淋巴。淋巴同血有咩點樣分啊？我哋上一堂啦。哇！你好犀利啊！你係一個治療師定係醫者嚟㗎？哇！你嘅資訊同我要識嘅一樣差唔多嘅啫喎。啊，其實淋巴就係同我哋講血就爭咗就係紅血球咯。我哋點樣？我哋啲淋巴點樣入我哋個腦㗎？經過我哋呢條頸，見唔見到兩條紅色㗎？唔係紅色嗰兩條，大家見唔見到啊？我哋叫嗰個頸椎嘅動脈。咁就透過我哋嘅心臟通啲血上去我哋嘅入去個頭骨嗰度，入咗去就咁樣噶啦。OK， 紅色嗰條啊就係個血管嚟噶啦。佢通入去咧，我哋其實個腦膜咧有3浸，好似個 filter 咁樣 filter 咗呢啲血，跟住就變成腦淋巴浸住我哋個腦細胞，就俾一啲養料我，包括我哋俾一啲我哋嘅血糖、氧氣。但係佢係咪有個叫新陳代謝啊？即係等於我哋做完運動，係咪都會有一個新陳代謝物啊？包括乳酸、二氧化碳呢啲嘅流動，呢個新陳代謝嘅流動係咪要暢通先至健康啊？如果佢入同埋出嗰個 balance 唔啱，即係個平衡唔好，係咪邋遢嘢越嚟越多啊？我啲腦脊液係咪越嚟越濁啊？所以你會有黑眼圈，所以你會有色素，所以好多人嘅面色，我哋所謂睇嗰個叫做咩啊？氣色。 係同你嘅健康相關㗎。中國人係咪睇一樣嘢叫做可以望聞問切㗎？上士仲犀利啦，睇你兩條眉就知道你應該14歲嘅時候咧，就即係攞個第一嘅喎，咁犀利嘅，睇下條眉就知嘅。嗰啲都係統計嚟嘅，但係原來我哋講相學或者顱骨，其實全部都係我哋講一啲資訊。原來我哋可以透過呢個顱骨嘅觀察，包括多唔多人有一啲高低眼啊、大細腮啊。有啲原因因為創傷，因為喺個顱脊骨成長嘅時候撞過影響咗。但係我哋要嘅唔係靚整容，我哋要嘅係健康。但係因為咁樣嘅歪斜，或者我哋講咁樣嘅腦筍位，如果棘住兩塊板塊咪咁棘住咗啊！22嚿板塊其實就好似個扭計式，全部歪晒。所以我哋可以透過睇人嘅顱骨面上，知道佢一啲健康嘅狀況，就睇到佢壓唔壓到某一啲腦細胞。我哋嘅工作好簡單，就係去調節翻呢一啲頭顱骨嘅歪斜。
But here's end of the first month after conception, you've got an image here showing you how the neural tube and the developing egg goes into this big flexion movement here. So it's called enfoldment. And suddenly you've got an embryo shape, haven't you? Now what we believe is this was the beginning of primary respiration. That thing that's going like that Johns Hopkins University ran over the embryonic and fetal periods of life. So just check this out. Cool, so on it goes, it's on a loop, but what we're seeing there is how the embryo grows right up to birth. And it's an underlying rhythm that everything's built on top of. We're feeling the micro level of that, which is happening every 12 seconds. The brain grows through that as well. I expect it carries on actually. Everything grows through an enfolding process. Is the power of growth in people. It's what's made us, it's what's driven us to be like this.
我哋用熱烈嘅掌聲歡迎我哋嘅多德師同我哋中間分享佢嘅
聽唔聽到啊？聽到啊！咁咧就爭取時間。其實今日咧，我哋咧7點半到9點半2個鐘，我哋希望講乜嘢咧？講3個主要嘅題目。第一個咧就係俾大家知道究竟乜嘢叫自愈力。係咪大家都清楚咩叫自愈力啊？其實好多人都唔知嘅喎嚇。咁啊，第二咧就係點解我哋要學識自愈力，或者點解要學自愈力？第三咧就係自愈力有冇得收翻嚟嘅咧？我哋可唔可以養收呢個自愈力嘅咧？咁如果可以有方法養收到我哋嘅自愈力，其實咪慳咗啲錢啊？係咪？如果我哋可以透過自己幫自己。透過藥物 ，OK， 咁其實我哋開場白咧就咁樣講嘅，喺世衛咧，其實咧有一啲資訊咧講俾我哋聽咧，乜嘢叫做亞健康？我諗在座呢度大部分人都係亞健康係嘛？世衛講咧有75%嘅人咧都係亞健康， 咁乜嘢為之亞健康啊？
睇落好健康，其實唔健康。
睇落好健康，其實唔健康，你即係講我啦，係嘛？點樣定義亞健康啊？啊？
好似好即係好舒服，但係又睇醫生嘅又好似冇咩病徵出現嗰啲。
我哋平時咧好多時就會係咁樣講啦，話你有病咧，你真係驗唔到有病。做任何嘅化驗，做任何嘅即係檢診咧，都揾唔出你有咩病。醫學嘅難題，佢有兩個定義。第一個定義咧，睇下大家係咪咯？我哋對號入座剔下咯喎。原來咧佢有兩個特徵嘅啲難民。第一個特徵咧，原來咧就周圍叫 shopping。shop 乜嘢咧 ？shop 緊神醫同埋呢個仙丹。翻去自己美國發覺佢最推崇嘅一種治療嘅方式咧，原來就喺佢屋企住嘅後邊街一個老嘅骨醫。咁個老嘅骨醫做啲乜嘢嘅咧？就係做啲今日我哋介紹緊嘅脊治療 cranial osteopath。咁嗰個老中醫咧就咩都冇啊，淨得對手，咁咩嘢都冇啊，得一張床，咁啊有兩張箱，有一個嘅助手。咁咧就排住隊咧，啲病人咧就俾佢做呢一啲叫做即係龍骨嘅整理。咁我入本書都有介紹嘅，咁啊講有我哋原來頭顱骨咧有22塊骨頭嘅。咁而佢入邊用緊嘅方法咧就係去調動我哋嘅頭顱骨，調動我哋嘅脊骨，原來可以令到我哋咧產生個自愈力，或者我哋講啟動翻我哋嘅自愈力，而幫我哋自己去處理身體嘅問題，係完全唔使用藥嘅。呢度咧就介紹咗啦，有啲朋友成日問我點解我叫做 Uncle Buck， 原來 Uncle Buck 咧係呢個名嘅譯名嚟㗎，北若如就係我呢一個即係筆名嚟嘅。咁我有時寫一啲唔同嘅稿啊，咁你見到我啲資料有啲都係呢個名嘅。咁我哋叫小朋友叫我哋做若如叔叔。大家有冇留意咧？北若如其實同咩同音啊？北若而喻係嘛？啊，或者你不若如都得。即係唔係好蠢，不約而喻，唔係好蠢嘅。原來呢個係最高嘅健康嘅境界嚟㗎啦。如果我哋能夠跳出呢一個咧，我哋就唔使做難民㗎啦。第一個特徵咧就周圍做 shopping， 第二個特徵係乜嘢咧？原來佢哋話唔認知自愈力。咁啊，我哋份屋書咧就咁樣寫啦，就即係對自愈力嘅無知。原來好多人都唔知道。原來我哋天生係具備咗一個自愈力，呢個好自然嘅一個規律，一個自愈嘅能力。喺我哋今日未嚟之前，或者我哋未講之前，大部分嘅朋友你哋點樣去認知咩叫自愈力㗎？你哋信唔信有自愈力㗎？信。OK。嚇？冇概念啊！呢個好坦白啊！你。好養貓咧，俾我哋睇到咧，乜嘢叫做真正嘅自愈力？啲貓咧經常咧，原來咧會食咗自己啲毛落肚㗎。養貓嗰啲係咪？佢哋食咗落肚會點啊？係咪睇醫生㗎？佢掛號唔係喎，通常點啊？佢唔係就咁可以嘔翻出嚟嘅喎。佢走嚟你嗰啲巴蟲嗰度走嚟食啲草。嘿，講得啱啦，佢唔使睇醫生嘅，但係佢自己識得走出街。揾一啲啱嘅處方嘅草，咩叫處方啊？喺醫學上面，我哋咩叫處方啊？要西醫寫紙俾你先至食得，或者先至買得嗰啲叫處方。諗一個問題俾呢個老花去諗下，如果有興趣上我哋 workshop 咧，下次話翻俾我聽。如果就唔到時間上嗰個工作坊嘅咧，就醫翻俾阿吳會長。呢個問題咧就係叫你翻去做下功課諗下嘅，點解由醫生處方咗嘅毒藥會變成唔係毒藥？你翻去諗下先，你聽完今晚咧，你會有唔同嘅答案㗎啦。OK， 咁但係簡單講，啲貓係識得自己揾自己嘅處方嘅草本，食幾多？知幾多？係佢自己知道自己食幾多，每日食幾多次？飯前食定飯後食？唔係呢啲我哋睇醫生都唔要知噶嘛，係嘛？食到幾時叫做唔使食？但係通常如果佢有啲嘢食咗落自己嘅肚度有啲毛， 佢哋會食啱一啲草，一係就嘔翻啲毛出嚟，一係就屙翻出嚟，跟住就冇事噶啦。大自然嘅森林咧，有冇動物會病㗎？有冇動物會受傷㗎？通常佢哋隻馬騮咁樣，如果即係唔覺意俾樹枝勾傷咗，佢哋會點㗎？佢哋會點㗎？睇醫生。有事點解唔睇醫生啊？如果隻馬騮跳棵樹跌落地咬親隻腳，都會唔會？都會㗎嘛。大笨象食香蕉會唔會扭親個鼻啊？咁都有機會會嘅喎。但係通常佢哋點做㗎？自己醫自己啊！佢哋冇自己醫自己，佢哋係透過一個所謂先天嘅自身嘅免疫力嘅治癒能力，咪自己好翻咯。蜥蜴仲犀利喎！我哋有冇捉過啲蜥蜴啊？斬咗佢條尾，佢會伸條尾出嚟嘅喎。咁有啲人話：如果我哋人有咁樣嘅治癒力，咪勁。咁有啲人咧就成日將啲嘢咧就推到好邊緣嘅。當我哋一推崇治癒力嘅時候，係啦，呢個多得斯傻啊！流緊血咧，佢都唔使止血嘅。我哋唔係講緊咧玩魔術，我哋講緊一個自然嘅科學。
人体自愈疗法。
生命降生时啊，一位随身医生就在我们身体里安家落户了。体内的每一处器官、每一种分泌物啊，都是他信手拈来的好药材，自动的进行康复治疗。生活中啊，小毛病往往是不需要吃药就能好，疑难杂症啊，自然痊愈的例子啊也是很多的。这就是身体里的神医啊，在自行诊断、开方配药，为我们的祛病保健康。这个自愈力呢是与生俱来的，时刻呀发挥着重要的作用。平常生活中啊，比如说感冒了，即使不吃药，扛几天呢，就会自然的康复。身上被划伤、撞伤，即使不用药啊，几个月后也会自然痊愈。甚至呢，有一些癌症患者呀，也能奇迹般的自我痊愈。这些呀，都是人体自愈力作用的表现。人体呢，借助自身的自愈力，即使偶尔有饮食不当、睡眠不足、环境改变、血液污染、负面情绪等等的影响啊，也是可以保持一种良好的状态而不生病的。这也是现代医学追求的治胃病的理想手段，是未来健康领域追求的最高目标。
人体是一个组织严密、分工明确的智能工厂，昼夜不停地产生各种细胞，而每一个细胞的核内都有一套完整的基因。这些拥有健康基因的细胞作为预备军存在，一旦发现身体局部出现病变，就会在大脑及经络系统的指挥下，变成战胜疾病的勇士，快速铲除病灶细胞，取而代之。用这样的体内自我配置的药方来治病，即为人体自愈疗法。大脑的养分是否充足，脑细胞是否活跃，经络是否通畅，决定自我诊断、自我修复能力的大小。打个比方，人体好比倒过来的大树，而树根就是起决定性的大脑。树木的荣枯取决于树根，当树木出现萎黄、干枯、生长不良时，通过适当的措施激活树根，树木就会立刻自愈，焕发勃勃生机。而人体也可以通过激活大脑，恢复身体自愈力，来防治各种疾病。
在人体自愈力被发现之前，人们往往是通过药物来治疗疾病。随着生活水平的不断提高，环境污染的加剧和不良生活习惯的冲击，各种可怕的疾病也随之袭来。脑梗塞、脑中风、冠心病、心肌梗塞、哮喘、糖尿病，甚至是癌症，发病率越来越高，让人防不胜防。 那么传统药物疗法又存在哪些弊端呢？它又给患者带来怎样的不幸呢？
许多人在发病时，首先想到的就是去吃药。当这些药物进入人体发挥药效的时候，人体自愈力就受到了排斥和破坏，处于持续减弱或低迷状态。久而久之，许多患者根本无法感觉到自愈力的存在，而对药物产生依赖性。长期服药产生的毒副作用不仅严重损伤了患者的肝肾功能，也大大削弱了人体的自我修复功能，雪藏了自愈力。这样，患者失去了一道与生俱来的防御屏障，只能接受药物治疗，后患无穷。据不完全统计，仅我国每年因为药毒致死致残的人数超过30万，每年因购药使家庭陷入贫困的患者人数高达90万。一双双绝望的眼神，一张张痛苦而扭曲的脸，向我们诉说着病魔带来的悲苦与痛楚。少吃药，不吃药，依赖人体自愈力来治愈各种疾病，成为当今世界医学最炙手可热的研究方向。